Corn, come on. Hello, we are on a whole different tripod today, and so everything is looking a little wonky, but we're rolling with it because that's the kind of day that we are having today. Well, first of all, I better jump in because the pile is large and in charge. Welcome back to Wednesdays on my channel where we fold and we either do a story time or just a full-on rant and questioning of everything. And that's what we're doing today. I was curious if you guys have ever had those days where you feel like you've gotten out of the wrong side of bed. Like, you know that saying? Did you get out on the wrong side of the bed? Fall out on the wrong side of the bed? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I got out of the same side of the bed as I usually do, but it felt like a dramatic twist in my morning because the minute the morning started, I feel like all hell broke loose. And so it was just like one silly thing after another, nothing dire. It was just like one thing broke, then the next thing broke, and then it was on customer service like all morning long, and it just like kicked us off on this bizarre note. And then she like freaks out over flies, which is does anyone have a dog that like literally freaks out, like full-blown panic mode, hiding under Jeff's desk because of a fly? It's just one of those days. I do in fact feel like I rolled out of the wrong side of this, but I feel like I should get back in and get back out. But here we are pushing forward. I'm feeling a little bit better. I was like full blown after 3 hours on being on customer service. Even if the customer service line is fantastic and the people I was dealing with today were actually like so nice, but you know, no amount of time doesn't wear on you. What am I, my brain. Anyways, I was kind of having like a full on gonna like beat someone up kind of morning. But here we are, and so I thought it would be interesting today to talk about different ways to deal with stress and what you guys do. And I would love to start the conversation, as I love to do here on Wednesdays, is to like not only chat at you, but then chat with you in the comment section. So please, if you are here and you're in the mood to take some time and leave some comments and thoughts, I'd really appreciate it. I really like hearing your thoughts on these things. So today we are talking about different stress releasers, not stressful, like curb. How do you deal with your stress in a perhaps healthy way? There's lots of like unhealthy ways to deal with stress, some of which are valid. Hi. Like if the time was right, I would happily make a margarita right now, but it's a little too early for that. And I don't think like kicking and screaming is necessarily the right thing to do, although a good scream into the pillow does help with the stress, or a scream in the car. I love a good scream in the car. That one always sort of alleviates the stress. But today I was like, okay, what do I do and how do I move past this? And if you guys have been watching my channel, you know that I am also detoxing very, very slowly from my SSRI, my Zoloft. So I know that that is also adding to any normal stress is like heightened because my body is like, wait, hold on, whoa, let me deal with that. So today I was like, okay, let's look at some ways to sort of curb this anxiety and stress that is running through me, and is inevitable because in life, you know, doorknobs are gonna break, which is what happened to us. Our like front door knob like completely broke and we got locked out the other day, and it's been a whole thing. So again, nothing dire, it's just like regular life stuff, but once it all builds up, it sometimes can feel unmanageable. So first thing, I was like, okay, let's just get the job done, get what needs to be taken care of, sit on customer service for 3 hours, whatever it needs to be done. Once that was over, it was like, okay, well, the feeling of stress is still in your body. I feel like once the stress enters, it's like really hard to like get rid of it. So even though I was so not in the mood, I got on my spin bike and did like a spin class, which sounds insane, but for me, and I've talked about this so much before, any form of exercise, even if it's just for like 20 minutes, going for a walk, 30 minutes, it helps alleviate the stress and then some, which is crazy because you feel like if your like body's already like boo, you feel like that would make it worse in some ways because it's just like adding to the adrenaline and adding to like what feels like stress. But actually it definitely, like the sweat, the act of it gives you endorphins. It doesn't even need to be anything so hardcore like a spin class. Some of you were asking, because I talk about the one trainer on YouTube all the time, Carolyn Gervin. She hasn't put out any new programs recently, but I just started redoing some of the other older programs that I had done in the past, and they're really great, and they're really great and fun and effective even the second time around. So I will leave her information below, but if I forget, because sometimes I forget after uploading all this and doing the whole shebang, Carolyn Gervin, look her up, Gervin, G-I-R-V-A-N, really like such a game changer, and all of her workouts are like 30 minutes. Some of them are a little bit longer, but the ones that I've been doing are just 30 minutes, and that is like so manageable. So today I got on the bike and I just like spun it out, and that definitely like helped sort of rebalance the stress that was just like in there. And then also, I don't know if this is like effective for everyone, but like I had to run an errand. I had to go get a new door handle, and just like getting out of the house for a second and like having a task. Obviously I waited until my stress level was like low enough that I didn't feel like unsafe driving. You should never like get in a car when you're having like a panic attack. But I just like getting out, rolling down the windows, getting some fresh air, and then like actually, like, this sounds crazy, but talking to like real random people and real random life was like super helpful. Even just like having a nice interaction with the man who was helping me pick out the right doorknob, like that kind of stuff. Sometimes you forget because we're so consumed in our computers and our phones and our homes, and like we forget like humanity is actually pretty healing once you're out and about. So that definitely helped. Hanging out with this little one, taking her for a walk helps. Talking with my husband, hugging it out, game planning helps. The other thing that sounds like so unappealing at the time, but at least for me, for stress management, is cleaning, which is good timing now. This pile has been like sitting here forever, and hopefully when you guys watch these on Wednesdays, you do some sort of a task with me. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a good time to do the task just to get it done with. And I feel like once the task is done, you feel so productive. But I remember when I first like moved into my own apartment a long time ago, I remember someone telling me like, you work, it wasn't like at me, it was just like a general statement, like you work so hard to achieve like your own place and to be able to like have your own place, that like for all that work that you've put in to being able to afford and fill and sustain, like you should really like honor that by keeping it clean and taking care of it and taking pride in it. And ever since I heard that, which was a long time ago, it really stuck with me. And like, I know that Jeff has that same mentality. I don't know if he has it because of that sort of idea. Oh no, guys, the FLY is in here. Hopefully she won't notice. Anyways, I don't know if he like, whatever, I don't know what his mentality about keeping the house clean, but he always keeps the house clean. And so the two of us together are actually really good in terms of taking care of the house. We're great roommates. And so when the house gets a little messy for one reason or another, we're busy, we're stressed, whatever, I feel like it adds to the chaos that's already like pumping through our brains and around us. And so just simply like taking a beat to like clean up and organize and kind of put stuff away is a really, really good tool for stress. Showering, which I haven't done today, that'll come next. Things like that, organizing. Trying to think what else I do. I guess the big ones are exercising, getting outside, and cleaning. What do you guys, I mean, there's other things that I like to do that seem to help, like eating, sleeping, drinking, all the fun stuff. But again, not sustainable, especially at certain times of the day. Yoga, deep breathing. Sometimes that stuff sounds so unappealing though, and like I want to acknowledge that, like, okay, deep breaths, like sometimes that even makes it worse. I remember telling a therapist once, I'm like, I get it, like I get the deep breathing thing, but like sometimes even when I'm like really heightened, like the act of like having to like concentrate so much on your breath, like almost makes it worse, because then you're like, wait, am I breathing right? Oh my God, am I like, do you know what I mean? Okay, that's like a deep cut for my hypochondriac friends, but like sometimes the focus on it is like too extreme. Although I've gotten pretty good at it. What do you guys do like at nighttime when you wake up in the middle of the night? What's your go-to method to stop yourself from thinking? Because of course, when you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, let me think about literally everything I have to do, I need to get done, I said 12 years ago at that one party, you know what I mean? So the middle of the night, like, that's why they tell you to like count sheep, which I guess I've done before in the past. Recently I've been doing this thing where I just lay there, and either I tell myself, if I'm like thinking about, oh shoot, I have to do this, this, and this, I literally say in my head, worry about it tomorrow, worry about it tomorrow. And I kind of just like deal with it tomorrow. There's nothing to be done, deal with it tomorrow, which is the truth. But recently I don't know if this is because we're talking about maybe having kids and like the thought of names is like kind of fun, which is ironic if you've read my book, because I went on such a rant about people that like keep lists in their phones far before they even have babies, far before they even like have a partner that they think they're gonna have a baby with. And I go on like this whole, I think I have a whole chapter about baby names. And so the irony now is that when I can't sleep, I'll sit or I'll lay in bed with my eyes closed, and instead of counting sheep, I'm like going through each letter of the alphabet and going through fun names, or thinking of like any names that start with that letter. There's a few letters that I get stumped on. Forget which letter it was that I was like, I can't really, oh, G. I couldn't think of like good girl names that are G. I couldn't even really think of that great of guy names. If you got into this part in the video and you have a good name that starts with G, let me know. So that's what I do. Maybe that's helpful in the middle of the night. Another stress relief is just to like play a game in your mind that is accessible and not stressful. Oh, I think I did actually fold a few of these. I am going to the Harry Styles concert soon, and I did rent, if you saw my newly rental this month, I rented a really cute sparkly skirt, but now I'm tempted to change it up because I just saw his new music video, Music for a Sushi Restaurant, and I have this like great seashell crown that I want to wear, but I'm not sure if it's gonna go with the sparkles. So I'm thinking about doing some funky pants. I kind of figured that out. Do you guys want to see me put my outfit together on camera or get ready with me for that? Let me know. What else is a good stress relief? I mean, sometimes like watching TV, reading a book, but like I do think for that you really have to be in the right, oh hi Bubba. You have to be in the right headspace to do that, because sometimes you can just get distracted, and like I'll be like 15 pages into a chapter and then I'm like, oh my God, I for sure have no idea what I just read. Does anyone do that? Or like watching a movie and then you're like, hi, I just watched like half that movie and I literally have no idea what happened because I was so distracted thinking about other things. So I'm trying to work on that. What? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Oh, I would say like scrolling through Instagram and stuff, but honestly, even if at the moment it feels like stress relief, I feel like ultimately it's like doing something crazy to our brains, and seeing everyone else's like stuff happening, even though you're like happy and excited and it's like stimulating. I don't know, there's something kind of like, I just don't know if it's really good for our brains, but that's probably a conversation for another video. By the way, which apps are you guys using right now the most? Are you guys doing TikTok? Are you doing, I was actually like, you know me, or if you don't, I'm so old school, and the thought of like joining anything else is so overwhelming to me right now. And I just like, I don't really have it in me to do like a TikTok moment, which I know is counterintuitive and probably doesn't help with my work, and you know, whatever, I should be doing it to help like keep myself relevant, but like I just literally don't want to do it. I don't like it. I think it's really killing us all. Anyways, but I am like sort of interested in, is it called Get Real? There's something like kind of fun about that. So I'm curious to hear your opinions on that. Oh my God, I don't have the heart to move her, so I might have to stop. Anyways, that's like it's such a tangent. But I was reading some article about like how all the apps that like we originally used, like Facebook and Instagram and all those, are like dying. And I'm curious if you guys feel the same about that, and or if you use that as a stress release, or if it actually causes you more stress. No wrong answers. Everyone's different. I just thought it was an interesting conversation to have, since today it just felt like so much was happening all at once and I was feeling overwhelmed, but now I'm feeling a lot better. So proud of myself for working through that, and maybe this is a little bit of encouragement for you if sometimes you feel so overwhelmed and you feel like, oh my God, this is a pattern I can't get out of. Just to let you know that like it is definitely possible. It's just active work, my friends. I'll tell you a quick story before we go. I think if you saw my vlog yesterday, I was talking about how I had to get a new computer, which was unfortunate, but I was bound to happen. My computer was old and I'm doing a million things on it all at once, and I knew it needed to happen at some point. Thankfully, I backed everything up and everything's fine, and like it all transferred, no problem. My old computer, literally, I think they said the board crashed. Is that right? Clearly not super technically savvy. Anyways, so usually when I go to the mall, I get like instant social anxiety, especially now that I'm, you know, working on this detox of my Zoloft. And so usually when I walk into a place like that, I start to feel pretty dizzy, and it's just this physical reaction that I've been fighting for a really long time. I've worked really hard to mentally understand what is happening, and so I can walk into the place and I could feel it in my body, but I could be like, Lisa, you're in no danger. Like, you know where the exits are. This all you know, the checklist of things. I have figured it out, the self-talk, but sometimes the self-talk just simply is not enough. Anyways, so of all the stores that cause me the most anxiety, the Apple store is like chaotic. For some reason, the lighting in there like does something to my brain. I can't remember if it's like the fluorescent. There is some correlation with a certain kind of bulb. This is, if you think I'm like wild right now, like that's fine, you can click off, but for those people that like know what I'm talking about, go with me on this. So the store is also very vast, it's very big, and it's really loud. Like the sound in there is crazy, and it's always packed. On top of the fact that like it's kind of a high stress situation because you're spending a lot of money, or you have stuff that you need recovered, whatever the case is, it's never really the most pleasant experience. Not to say, however, because the people that work there are so very lovely. Everyone I dealt with was like a pure gem. So it's not like a total hellscape, but for me, it's like the pinnacle of my like social anxiety. Like encompasses everything that's like so intense to me. And also you're kind of like stuck there. Like you have to wait your turn, the whole thing. So I was recalling the situation to Jeff, and he pointed out something that I wanted to share with you, was that I got there and I was waiting my turn, and I started to feel the feels that I typically feel in social places like that. And I had the feeling of like, I want to just go. I should just go. I'm going to pass out. I got to get out of here. But I had the wherewithal to be like, okay, I think, actually, I know you can do this. And I know a lot of this is just like so ingrained in you, and this is just like what you're used to and what you're expecting. So just protect yourself, kind of go inward. And I like really tried to like, this is so woo-woo, but I try to like protect myself and like pull myself sort of into my own little bubble and really just like drown out everything and everyone's energy, because everyone's energy in there is chaos. Like people are fighting because they're upset about their phone or whatever the case, or they're anxious, or they're loud, or they're this, or they're waiting, you know, whatever. Mad, angry, happy, sad, everyone's emotion usually gets caught up in my own like physical body. And so I just was like, okay, Lisa, you could do this. Like I found my corner. I kind of just sat. I took deep breaths. I didn't even like look at my phone. I just sort of like put on this meditative state. And then as soon as my person came to talk with me, as soon as I was able to do like a one-on-one and be like my honest self and be like, oh my God, I'm so stressed about this, what is your thoughts? Like, let's be honest, Like I really just have like a one-on-one interaction. The anxiety went away. I got through it. it was not as scary, it was not as dramatic, it was not as stressful as I had preconceived notions about it, or as I thought it would be. And I got out and it was all good. And I like literally talked myself out of having a full panic. I was really proud of myself. So maybe that's some encouragement for all of you out there, that we're gonna have good days, we're gonna have bad days. The world around us is chaotic. The internet is chaotic. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of sadness, a lot of anger. A lot of it is justified, a lot of it is nonsense, and but regardless, it all feels the same when you come across it. And so I just want to let you know that you can protect yourself from all of that, that days will get better, that things will roller coaster, but if we can just strap in, hold on, and try to enjoy the ride together, then we're golden. So there you go. My day started off with me like literally so angered and just like sad about this customer service situation, which again is so silly in the long run, but I was able to turn it around. And I think like I just wanted to come on here to let you know, like, you can turn it around. However small or big it is, reach out to your resources, to the people you trust in your life. And if nothing else, come on over here, fold your laundry with me, and just know that I am cheering you on one day at a time, one moment at a time, one customer service call at a time. I love you guys. Was this helpful? Did this make any sense? This was a rant. But I'm happy to have it, and I'm happy to have it with you. And thank you for giving me a space to share and be myself. And thanks for your support on the rest of the week, the rest of the videos of my podcast, and all those good things. Love you guys. She loves you. Thanks for calming us down. And see you tomorrow. While I was at the mall, I did film a little try-on in a little dressing room. I'm trying to figure out how I piece all that together. So that might go up tomorrow. But if not, I've got something else up my sleeve for you guys. Duh. All right. Love you. Thanks for being here.